Magic Key Renewals have finally been announced, and there are some surprising changes, of course, to talk about, plus some surprising non-changes. We'll cover when, how much, and more, including who I think are the unfavorables now based on this update. All that is coming up next on Fresh Baked. Hi guys, David here with Fresh Baked, and yes, we have finally heard from Disney regarding Magic Keys. Well, renewals anyway. The update that we got today is for Magic Key renewals only. Still no word on new sales, though I do think those won't be far behind. But Magic Key renewals will begin on August 18th. That's this Thursday. And for now, let's talk about the basic details of this new Magic Key program, which from the long view is nearly identical to the old system. If anything, it might actually be, dare I say, better than the old system. I'll tell you why. Now, the first major change that we'll observe is that the Dream Key is gone. No longer will there be a Dream Key. It's being replaced by the Inspire Key. Why change the name? Well, most likely it's because this new key, this Inspire Key, will have blockout dates. There is no key now. There are no keys at all with no blockout dates. The top key, the Inspire Key, will be blocked out from December 21st through January 1st. That means there will be 0 pass holders in the parks during that time. During Christmas week, there will be no pass holders at all. No other holidays or dates will be blocked out as far as I can tell. Thanksgiving, 4th of July, those are fine. So they can't really call this a Dream Key anymore because the Dream Key was associated with a pass that had no blockout dates. Plus, the current Dream Key is the subject of a lawsuit, so I have a feeling they want to disassociate from that now as well. The Inspire Key will sell for $1,599. That is $200 over the cost of the Dream Key, which sold for $1,399. Now, some might object to this price increase because the price has gone up. Meanwhile, the actual value, the ability of that Dream Key has gone down with the blockout dates being added. But to be honest, and I felt the same way last year when they announced the Dream Key to begin with, I was expecting the price to be considerably higher. I was prepared for it to cost more. In fact, I think it probably should cost more if they really are trying to limit, how many Inspire Keys or Dream Keys there are in the parks. And by the way, remember that because we're going to talk about that a little bit further on down in this video about what this means, what this program means in terms of Dream Keys, in terms of Magic Keys, I should say, in general. And in a stroke of good fortune for Dream and Inspire Key holders, you're going to get to keep the free parking. This was a big deal for a lot of folks considering the sheer volume of visits that the Dream or Inspire Keys would be making. $30 a pop would have been a big deal. Free parking still for Inspire Key. And that's a big deal because it's one of the roadblocks that I talked about in previous videos that Disney might try to sort of inhibit key holders, Dream Key holders, for example, from going to the park as often as they did. So that's $200 extra for Inspire with a monthly payment of $133.25. The Believe Key is now $1,049. That's up $100 from $949. The Enchant Key is now $699, up $50 from $649 previously. And the Imagine Key is now $399, up from $349. All other benefits appear to be the same, and actually they're better in some cases. Same number of reservation slots for each, 6 for Inspire and Believe, 4 for Enchant, 2 for Imagine. Same food and merchandise discounts. Photo Pass will be included with the Inspire and Believe keys, though it's noted as coming soon, so it's not going to be there right away. But no word yet on when that might be included. This Photo Pass is going to be huge for some Magic Key holders. I know there's quite a few people, Magic Key holders, who loved the Photo Pass service and were really bummed, lamented the fact that that wasn't included in the first version of Magic Keys. There was no Photo Pass, and I have a feeling that was a trick. They chose not to buy them. The Magic Key holders who used them in the past, used Photo Pass, and they chose not to buy it when it became an a la carte item on a per visit basis, and Disney probably is missing on that revenue, or missed it quite a bit. So having it included in the Inspire Key is a big deal. And that does actually factor into the additional cost. Included also with all passes will be a 20% discount on Genie Plus, which is good and all, better than before. But on this topic, I must say that Disney has revealed themselves to still not quite understand Magic Key holders. I think I speak for a lot of us when I say it was never really about the price. For me, not ever purchasing Genie Plus, I still have only bought it 2 times, maybe 3 in the full year, and that was just for show purposes. And it was never about the price. $20 actually for what Genie Plus does on an individual basis, on a per visit basis, what Genie Plus does, $20 is actually a very good value compared to what you save versus standby, compared to what other parks charge for similar service. Universal, Knott's Berry Farm, it's in the $100 range, not 20. If I went to the park once or twice a year, I would buy Genie Plus every single time. But what gets in the way of me personally from buying Genie Plus is the convenience, is the fact that they make you, or made us, buy it on a per day visit. Making us buy it each day is the exact thing that inhibits us from buying it in the first place. It's not the price. If they truly want annual pass holders to buy Genie Plus, they need to make it a one-time purchase, and sold a la carte. I don't know, for what, $200 or $300 a year. If they did that, I would buy it. I would definitely buy it. And I may not even use it still, but I would be more likely to give up that $200, $300 for the convenience of not having to buy it on a per visit basis. But for now, with the 20% discount, it changes the price for Genie Plus from $20 to $16. By the way, it should be noted that the discount that they mentioned there is only for Genie Plus. I do not see any reference to a discount for Lightning Lane. That means no discounts for if you want to just buy Rise of the Resistance or Radiator Springs Racers. No discounts for Lightning Lane or the paid individual Lightning Lane. Okay, Enchant and Magic Keys are not getting Photo Pass, but they are getting a 25% discount on parking where they did not before. The Believe Key got a 50% discount before. They're maintaining that 50% discount on parking. But now you can add a 25% discount for Imagine and Enchant Keys, which is very interesting. This is interesting because the new Magic Key system appears to be removing roadblocks instead of adding roadblocks. For those wondering if Disney is interested in being in the annual pass holder business, this is a very good indication that they are. They do want annual pass holders in the parks. Giving a discount for parking is an endorsement of the annual pass holder program. The small price increase, the inclusion of Photo Pass for some pass holders, the Genie Plus discount, the parking discount, they are trying to make it easier for annual pass holders to get in the parks. Now, the primary roadblock is still there. The reservation system is still there. But I don't think it could be argued otherwise that Disney wants to maintain and keep the Magic Key program. Not only do they want it, they want us in the parks more. They're giving us more reasons to show up. I think that's pretty clear. All right, a couple more things. I mentioned earlier that renewals will begin on August 18th. That's this coming Thursday, no earlier than 9 a.m., and they will be using a virtual queue system. But even though they're doing that, even though they're using that virtual queue system, don't mistake that for there being an opportunity or a possibility for these renewals, for these Magic Keys to sell out. These will not sell out. Anybody who currently has a Magic Key or had one, if it's already expired, anybody who has or had a Magic Key will be given the opportunity to renew. All of them will be able to renew. They will not be selling out during this virtual queue renewal process. The virtual queue, I believe, is done simply to constrain the impact on the Disney servers. Everybody's going to show up all at the same time to renew their keys, and that would break the system. So they want to try to temper the effect on the servers, I believe. Okay, and then as I mentioned before, there's no mention of new sales. I don't know when they're going to start, but I don't think it's going to be. I think they'll be right behind this. It won't be long before you'll be able to buy a Magic Key again. If your Magic Key has already expired or will expire before this coming Thursday, call Disney directly, speak to them directly, and they will allow you to renew. As I understand it, they will allow you to renew you right now. If yours is already expired, call them right now, and you could probably renew. Okay, back to the Blockout Calendar. As mentioned, the Inspire Key will be blocked out between December 21st and January 1st. If you want to be there then, you're going to have to buy a ticket. This, by the way, effectively raises the price of the Magic Key, where the Photo Pass and Genie Plus discount effectively lowered the renewal price, where it costs $200 more, but you are also getting those extra services. This raises the effective price. Even if you go one time, that's the cost of a ticket, $125 or something like that. I don't know about you, but I personally will be buying at least one day during that period, if for no other reason than just to see what it's like to have no pass holders in the park. Show of hands, fresh baked. If you are an Inspire or Believe or any kind of key, will you be buying a ticket for that period between December 21st and January 1st? The Blockout calendars otherwise look identical to those before. We're talking about for Believe, Enchant, and Imagine. No changes that I could spot for any of them. One small thing I noticed was that both January 1st and January 2nd were blocked out for Believe keys before, where The second is not blocked out this coming January. This, though, appears to be more a factor of the second being on a Sunday in 2022, where it's a Monday in 2023. But other than small nuances like that, they appear to be identical, which I must say is a bit of a shock to me, because I really thought that they butchered the calendars for all the keys in the first iteration of the Magic Key program. I really don't think that they handled it very well, but they apparently are quite happy with it. And this development, this non-change to the blockout calendar, leads me to believe that the unfavorable attendance mix that Chapek referred to had nothing to do with the individual keys themselves and how they relate, which was a theory that I talked about in the last video on that topic. But I can also say that this unfavorable mix comment also has nothing to do with the relationship between Magic Keys and single and multi-day ticket holders. If this were the case, they wouldn't have made it easier for Magic Keys to get into the parks. We wouldn't be talking about all the extra benefits that the key holders are getting that they didn't have before. They wouldn't have made keys more desirable, which they did. They would have made more roadblocks, which is what I was expecting. Now, the unfavorables, the unfavorables are definitely still Magic Key holders. That is a true statement. But not because of their mere existence and their impact on the park. It's because they don't buy Genie Plus. Recall that this comment, this unfavorable mix comment, was part of a conversation about per guest spending, that it was up and it was due to Genie Plus and Lightning Lane, that it was up everywhere except at Disneyland. Disneyland guests were not buying Genie Plus. Magic Keys were not buying enough Genie Plus. Thus, the Genie Plus discount. And this, again, is where I think they missed the mark. They're going to sell a few more Genie Pluses, but if they truly wanted Magic Keys to opt into the Genie Plus program, I feel like it should be, an a la carte, one-time purchase add-on. I don't know what that number is, but you can figure out what the typical purchase rate would be, times that by 20, and add that to the back end of your Magic Key purchase. If they did that, you would see opt-in for Genie Plus at Max Pass levels, like we saw before, which was almost universally purchased back in the day. That's going to be a developing situation, I think. We'll see how this 20% discount works. Okay, so what's left? Active pass holders will maintain their current pass holder calendar and their current benefits until their passes expire. And as I understand it, you are going to be able to upgrade or downgrade as you wish to whatever key you prefer. In fact, I would expect if you're a Believe key holder, let's say, or an Enchant key, and you haven't expired yet, I would try checking with Disney on the 18th when the renewal process starts to see if you can't upgrade before your renewal is up and see if you can't upgrade to an Aspire key if you choose. A lot of folks did that. They bought the Enchant key, after Dreams and Believes had stopped being sold back in October, November. They bought the Enchant key with the hopes of being able to upgrade. Check with Disney on that. You might be able to upgrade now or on August 18th when the renewals start. Okay, and then finally, here's one interesting bit of language that has been added to the Magic Key terms and conditions. Park reservations for pass holders are limited in number and subject to the availability of park reservations allocated to passes. So instead of saying that they're limited to availability in general, it is now limited in availability as allocated to passes. They are now, with this statement, declaring that the Magic Key bucket is separate from the single and multi-day bucket, which we already knew, but they're declaring it basically, and that availability is not connected to the park capacity in general. And this statement alone is enough, I believe, to cover them to any sort of further exposure with regard to like the bait and switch type situation that is being argued for the Dream Key. And with that, I think that we can safely say that the reservation system is here to stay forever and amen. Disney has won on that front. The reservation system will stay, the parks will be full, and Disney will still collect all that Magic Key revenue. By keeping the reservation system, they will be losing a few guests, but not enough to say that it would truly affect park attendance. But stay tuned to Fresh Baked, though, because just as it has been for the last year, this Magic Key story, is definitely going to be a fluid and developing situation. For now, if you have questions or if there's anything that we didn't cover in this video, ask us in the comments below. We're going to try to answer as many of those questions for you. Otherwise, follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked, on Twitter at FreshBakedDisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBakedDisney. If you like our show and want to show you support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FreshBaked. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. and fresh baked.